Okay, Assalamualaikum and good afternoon, everyone. Okay, for today's topic is about proposal and Viva presentation. Okay, so I'll be sharing with you some tips and techniques during a proposal and Viva presentation. Okay, so before that, let me share the attendance link so that you can record your attendance. Okay. Okay, please refer to the chat box, yeah. All right, so let us begin the topic for today. Okay. All right, let's be frank with me. How do you love your thesis? If you see this comic in front of you, this was taken from www.phdcomics.com. Okay, so it reflects on how you think about your thesis. You think about it day and night, right? Sometimes you see your thesis in your dreams, or sometimes you even see your supervisor's face in your dreams. Sometimes you sing praises of your thesis far and wide, meaning that you share your thesis, your projects to many people. And sometimes, unfortunately, they get unnoticed. You weep at your thesis absence and you count the years until your thesis is finally yours, right? So this happens to each and every one of us. For those who are doing research, right? You think about it day and night, okay? Even while you're eating, while you take your shower, every moment. So here comes the day, okay? It's either halfway through your work or at the end of your work. You will face your first assessment or proposal defense or Viva examinations. You might face two different situations, okay? You might see the lights at the end of the tunnel as what you can see in front of you, or either way, you can see a train coming to you, all right? Okay, so it can be either good or bad way. Okay, so let's face it together. Okay, I've been there once. Okay, everybody who did their research or PhD been there once. So let's talk about the outline for today. Okay, I'll be talking about what is a proposal defense and Viva examination or presentations, the goal of having proposal defense and Viva presentation, the preparation before the defense of Viva, during the defense of Viva, and after the defense of Viva. So let's have a look at it one by one. So first of all, what is a proposal defense and Viva presentation or examination? Okay, so it's an oral examination where a student defends their research proposal or their complete research in front of a panel of examiners. Who are the panel of examiners? They are the experts of your field. Okay, they can be a senior lecturer, they can be an associate professor, or even a professor who are professed in your field. Okay, so they are the panel of examiners. So all in all, this is a formal academic process, all right? So you need to go through this. So let's talk about the goal of proposal defense, okay? At UTM, we also call it first assessment, okay? It's the same. So the goal of it is to justify the feasibility, the significance and methodology of your proposed research before you proceed with the data, collections. Okay, it is to ensure that your research quality, it is a rigorous, a well-structured, okay, it contributes something to the body of knowledge. All right, so the first assessment is to justify from chapter 1 until chapter 3 of your research before you proceed with the data collection process. So there's a big difference with the goal of Viva Vovosi, where this is where you finally be assessed, okay, throughout your entire thesis from chapter 1 until chapter 5 or chapter 6 or even chapter 7. Okay, so it will evaluate the academic quality and the scholarly standard of a thesis. Okay, and this will allow you, the candidate, to justify and defend your work, right? So during this process, you need to analyze and maybe you need to clarify your research design, your methodology, and your findings. Okay? It will also be a platform where you can provide or present the evidence that assists examiners in assessing your thesis. So it's very important for you to have that kind of evidence to support or to justify your findings, for example. Okay, and it will also enable the panel of examiners to provide recommendations or suggestions, okay, to you regarding your thesis. And all in all, this is basically to engage you in a healthy academic discussion about your research. So that's the goal of this proposal defense or Viva presentations. So what needs to be prepared before your proposal defense or Viva? What you need to do, first of all, and the most important part is for you to understand the process. So for postgraduate students at Faculty of Educational Sciences and Technology, you should know the process. Okay, you should review your faculty's defense or Viva guidelines. This includes the format, the durations, and also the rules. Okay. Okay, this has been extensively discussed during Dr. Nora's session. Okay, you may have a look at Dr. Nora's colloquium session. She talked a lot about the examination process. Okay, I will not touch more about this. Okay, and you should know who are your examiners, and you need to do some research about their research background. Okay, maybe you need to Google up their name. You should know their work, what is their interest, and so on. Okay, and all in all, familiarize yourself with common proposal defense or Viva questions. Okay, there's a lot of examples of questions in the internet. Okay, the most common questions being asked during proposal defense or Viva questions, Viva sessions. You can search for it on the net. Okay, so this is the first step of preparation before your examination. Number 2, understand your thesis well. Okay, understand your thesis in and out. Okay, so what you need to do, you already have the date of your defense or Viva. You need to reread your thesis carefully, especially the key chapters. What are the key chapters? Such as introduction, methodology, findings, and conclusions. Okay, you need to reread it. Maybe twice, maybe thrice. Okay, and be ready to summarize your research in few sentences. Have you heard about 3-minute thesis competitions? That is the competitions where you need to sum up your thesis your 300 pages of thesis in 3 minutes. So how cool is that? Okay, so if you can explain your thesis shortly, okay, meaning that you understand your thesis very well, okay? So identify potential weaknesses and prepare for responses. Maybe when you reread your thesis, you will find fewer potential weaknesses. Maybe you overlook it when you submit your thesis last time. Okay, when you reread, you finally get these few points that, this must be something wrong, okay? Maybe there's some spelling error, technical aspect, or even few facts that is not right, okay? So you need to identify those weaknesses, okay? And prepare for responses. Okay, the next steps, okay? We are still in the preparation before defense of Viva. So you need to anticipate and prepare for questions. You need to have a list of anticipated questions, and you need to prepare the answers as well. So what are the common questions? Okay, I list out here a few of common questions that being asked by the examiners throughout the examination process. Okay, number one, why did you choose this topic? Okay, what is the problem? What is the issue that you want to overcome? Okay, how does your research contribute to the field of your study? So this is very, very important. I want to know what is the contribution of your study. Okay, what are the strengths and weaknesses of your study? This is interesting questions. Okay, next, how does your research different with existing studies? Okay, this will highlight the gap of your research. And finally, what are the limitations of the study? These are some of the common questions being asked by the examiners. Okay, there are a lot more questions that might be asked by the examiners, so you need to be prepared. Okay, prepare the questions and also the answers. Okay, next, this is very, very important. Okay, examiners often ask a lot on your methodology, on your chapter 3. So you need to understand your methodology very well. Same goes to the findings of your research, because these are the two most crucial chapters in your thesis. You should be able to justify your research methods. Okay, for example, you are choosing pre-experimental research design, one group pre and post-test research. Okay, so you need to justify your stand, why you select that kind of research design. Okay, the examiner might ask you, why you only have one group? Why don't two groups? Okay, so you need to be prepared. Next, to be clear about how you collect and analyze your data. Sometimes the examiners can sense whether you are the one who analyzed your data or not based on your answer during that defense or during that Viva presentation. Okay, so you need to be very, very careful. So that means you need to well versed in explaining your research data analysis. Okay, you also need to explain any unexpected findings and their significance. Sometimes in your research, you will find an unexpected findings and interesting findings that previous research didn't explore. So you need to explain this to your examiners. Okay, next, number 5 is about organizing the supporting materials. Okay, what you see in front of you is the thesis, okay, and what you can see here, okay, the candidate tag the important chapters, okay, the introduction chapters, the literature review, okay, the methods and so on. It is for her to do a quick reference. If the examiner asks her something about introductions, she can quickly go through the introduction part and she can check for the issues that might arise, and she can provide justification if needed. Okay, so mark the important sections in your thesis. Okay. Okay, Next is to prepare a list of key references and related studies. So this is very, very important. I taught this often with my students as well, okay? While writing or conducting your research, you might have few notable or important references that you use as your main references. So you need to keep that closely with you, and you need to well verse in that particular references. That is your main sources, okay? Main sources of your research, so that when the examiners ask you the comparison of what previous research had done and what's the new things that your research produced, so you can explain to them, okay, the main important findings of your research compared to the previous studies. So keep the key references, the main references that you use in your research with you, okay? Sometimes you need to remember a few names, the experts in your field, okay, to show that you are well versed and it is academically proven, right? Okay, next is to practice your presentation and defense. This is very, very important. Okay, this is the time where you need to do a rehearsal of your Viva. Okay, you can have the mock Viva with your supervisor or your peers or with yourself in front of the mirror. Okay, do it few times so that you are familiarized with the slides, with your slides and with your way of presentations. Okay, so you need to practice speaking confidently and defending your arguments. All right. So at UTM, you need to time yourself to ensure a clear and concise answer of presentation. Okay, so the maximum minutes is 20 minutes of presentations. Okay, don't be surprised if the chairman cut you off if you are halfway throughout your presentation, if you exceed 20 minutes. Okay, so it's very, very important for you to time yourself. Make sure your presentation is within 20 minutes. Okay, so practice makes perfect. Okay, don't be ashamed to present your presentation. Okay, to prepare or rehearse your presentation in front of your friends. Okay, a few times. It's okay, right? Yes, all in all, prepare mentally and physically. Of course, you cannot sleep the day before. Okay, sometimes a week before your defense or Viva, you think about it day and night. Okay, you don't have a good appetite a week or the day before, so you need to have an enough rest before the presentation. Get enough rest. Okay. Sorry, this is mistake. Okay, get enough rest before the day. Okay, eat well and stay hydrated. Don't forget to eat. You need to eat to get the energy, and you need to drink a lot of water to get the energy to answer the questions, okay, bombarded to you by the examiners, right? But this is also important for you to dress professionally. Dress professionally to show your confidence. Okay, comb your hair nicely. Okay, put some lipstick for girls. Okay, and you need to be confident. And stay calm and composed. And remember, you are the expert in your research, not your friends, not even the examiners, not even your supervisor. You are the one who is expert in your research because you are the one who conduct the research. Okay? So please keep that in mind. Okay? It's normal for us to get nervous, but stay calm and composed and try to remember everything that is important to your research. Okay, let's talk about the tips on the day, okay, during your defense or Viva. Okay, this is very, very important. Okay, if your proposal defense or Viva presentations is mainly presented face to face, so you need to arrive early and be ready with your thesis. And if you have notes, be ready with your notes. Okay. Another key point is to listen carefully to the examiner's questions before answering it. Okay, do not get too excited. Okay, so if you did not get what's the point from the examiners, maybe you can ask them politely. Sorry, Prof, can you repeat the questions? I don't quite get it. Okay, or sorry, Prof, can you explain in detail? Okay, what do you mean by blah, blah, blah? All right. So please be respectful to the examiners as well. Okay, talk to them nicely. Okay, they are there to actually help you improvise your research. Okay, please stay positive even if you face difficult questions. Don't get mad, don't get aggressive, don't get defensive. Okay, so please be positive as long as you can. Okay, and what if you don't know the answer? What if you don't know the answer? Let's be honest, you don't know the answer because you never heard about it before. Okay, something that is new to you. You need to acknowledge it and discuss the possible explanations. Sorry, Prof, I might overlook that this. Okay, I will try to find the answers afterwards, but at least you need to provide justification. Maybe something cross over your mind during that things. And maybe you have that, similar points with the questions that the examiner asked. Maybe you can provide those points. Do not leave it like, sorry, Prof, I don't know. Do not answer it like, okay, I never heard about it. I don't know the answer. Don't answer like that. Okay? Remember, you are the expert of your research. You are the scholar. Okay? So you need to answer it in a scholarly way. I believe that you read a lot. Okay? So you need to present it wisely. So what needs to be done after the defense of Viva? So what are the things that you need to do? Do you need to go to the party and to celebrate? No, not yet. Okay. You need to do some corrections, if any. Okay. And you must make sure that the corrections are made in timely manner. It depends on your results of your defense or your Viva. Okay. If you did not submit your corrections in a timely manner, okay, maybe you exceed the due date of your corrections missions, there is an effect or impact towards it. Okay, so you need to make sure you submit your corrections in timely manner. These are some of the important notes. Okay, during the proposal defense or Viva presentations, you can always ask for clarifications from the examiner where necessary. Okay, if you are not clear on the questions, you can ask for clarifications. It's just that you cannot ask anything to your supervisor. Okay? During the examination process, the supervisor cannot say a single word. Maybe she can just smile or otherwise. Okay? So be honest. Again, don't be aggressive. Don't be defensive. It's a big no-no in this kind of situations. Okay, you need to be professional. You are postgraduate students. You are committed students. You are mature students. So show your maturity and make sure to show that you are a critical thinker as well. Okay, stay calm and composed. Okay, you are the one who likely to know more about the subject and than those who are assessing your thesis. You are the boss. Okay, you are the boss of your thesis. Be forthcoming and allow discussion to develop. Okay, don't just use yes or no response as I mentioned earlier and just wait for the next questions. It's not a healthy discussions. Okay, so accept suggestions and recommendations given by the examiners. All right, so this is part of the learning process, remember? Okay, so accept those suggestions and recommendations. Don't forget to say thank you to the examiners. Thank you for your recommendations, for your suggestions. I will improve and revise the discussions as per suggestions. Okay, that's the example and ways to answer your examiner's questions. Okay. Okay, this is an extra notes here. Okay, I'm taking this from Dr. Nora's colloquiums last times on the examination process about the Viva results. Okay, you might get an A. Okay, this is a perfect thesis. Okay, it will award a candidate with the relevant degree. If it is PhD, then it is PhD. It is Master for Research, then it is Master for Research. Okay, so A represents that the examiner is satisfied with the standard and quality of your thesis. Okay, so A is the best, the excellent score. How about B1? Okay, it will award the candidate the relevant degree after completing minor corrections. Minor corrections. Okay, the examiner is still satisfied with the standard and quality of your thesis, but there is some minor corrections that need to be done, and it was confirmed only by the supervisor. Okay, so the duration is maximum 3 months for PhD and 1 month for master for research. Yeah. How about B2? Okay. It will award the candidate the relevant degree after completing the amendments and corrections listed by the examiners in the examiner's report. Yeah, and it should be confirmed by either internal or external examiner or both. Okay, if either one satisfied or both satisfied, then you can be awarded. Okay, this is B2. Okay, the duration, the maximum, we are talking about maximum duration of the corrections. Okay, it should be takes place within 6 months for PhD and 3 months for master. What if you get C? Okay, I hope all of you will have a flying colors result, not C. Okay, the candidate was not awarded a degree but allowed to resubmit their thesis for examination. Okay. It means that the examiner is not satisfied with the standard and quality of your thesis. Okay. However, the candidate was allowed to resubmit the thesis for examination. Viva. Maximum is a year for PhD, 12 months, and 6 months for masters. Okay. C is categorized into level. C1, this is correction only. C2 is revival. Okay, it's either C1 or C2. C1 is for you to just to correct the whole thesis without Viva again. C2 is for you to correct your thesis and sit for Viva again. Okay, how about D? Okay, it's not satisfactory. Okay, the examiner was not satisfied, right? So there are two things here you can read here. Okay, if D for doctoral degree studies, the candidate achievement is not satisfactory for a doctorate but suggested a lower degree. Okay, if it is PhD, then students will be awarded with master. Okay. How about for intake semester 2, starting from semester 2, 2019, 2020 and beyond? Okay, I believe this applies to you. The candidate performance is unsatisfactory for Doctor of Philosophy degree. Candidates need to re-register as research masters students. Okay, and how about an E? It's totally fail. Right? Okay, I want to highlight this again for master's research students and for doctoral students, okay, about the publication requirement for thesis submissions, which means that you need to fulfill these publication requirements before you submit your thesis. For Masters by Research for intake 2016-2017, okay, at least one publication, okay, I believe all of you folks within here or here, I don't know, for intake session 2016-2017, okay, at least one publication that had been accepted or published in either journal articles, conference paper, or book chapter. How about intake 2021, 2022 and above? You may submit your thesis after 12 months with at least one publication that had been accepted or published in either journal articles, conference paper, or book chapters. Alright? How about for doctoral student? Okay. Let's have a look at intake 2016 and 2017. For doctoral students, you may submit your thesis in the sixth semester with at least one publication of journal articles. Okay. Journal articles and index journal articles. Or number 2, articles in index conference proceedings. If you have submitted or you have attended IEEE conference proceeding, that is index proceeding, or IAP conference proceeding, it is accepted. All right. But for students, intake 21, 22 and onwards, you may submit your thesis in the sixth semester minimum with at least one published article that has been accepted or published in a journal index on the Web of Science. We have this database called Web of Science. I hope you all know the difference between Web of Science, Scopus, and ERA Index Journal. Okay, so if you publish at least one published articles in Web of Science journal, you're good to go. You can sit for Viva. Okay, if you are unable to publish at least one paper to Web of Science journal, you need to at least publish 2 articles to journals in Scopus, ERA, or even MyCite, Malaysian Citation Center. Okay. So this is the publication requirement for thesis submission. All right. So make sure during the duration of your 3 years of your study, so for example, you must submit, you must fulfill this requirement. You must submit for publication. Okay, this is also an extra note for those who will sit for first assessment or research proposal. These are the content that should be included in your thesis, okay? So you need to have the background of problem. Actually it's from chapter 1 until chapter 3, okay? But for our faculty, abstract is not necessary for research proposal. So you need to complete your chapter 1 from introduction of chapter 1, okay, until the operational definitions and summary in chapter 1, and then complete your chapter 2, and then complete your chapter 3, the research methodology. All right, you should also provide the scope and the limitations of the study, and this is very, very important to also include the expected research findings. Okay, so this is the additional informations that I want you to know. I want you to be prepared. Okay, and this is also an additional info about the result of the first level assessment proposal defense. Yeah, okay, this was taken from UTM academic circular. Okay, so P1 meaning that the research proposal is accepted. Okay, it is possible for you to get P1 if the panel of examiners satisfied with your research proposal. Okay, that is P1. How about P2? The research proposal is accepted with amendments, meaning that you need to do corrections and need to be verified only by your supervisor. The duration is within 1 month. Okay, how about P3? P3 is the same with P2. It's just that the corrections without presentation is just that it need to be verified by the examiners within 1 to 3 months. Okay, the examiners should be satisfied with your work after the correction. How about P4? The research proposal accepted with amendments. Corrections need to be verified by the examiners, yeah? Within 3 to 6 months and representation proposal in the following semester. Okay, this is the state if someone get P4. How about P5? It's totally rejected by the examiner. So the students need to submit and present a new proposal. Okay. So these are some of the important informations, okay, that need to be taken by the students. Okay. Okay. This is very, very important things that I want you to be exposed to. How to familiarize yourself with your research, yeah? How to make sure you can communicate your thesis well in front of the audience, in front of knowledgeable others, in front of your friends, yeah? So you need to involve in this kind of research activities. I call it as research activities. You need to involve in the conference presentations. Go to any conference, okay, and try to present your work at the conference. Okay, it's very, very important to communicate with others related to with your research. Okay, so when you are able to communicate, meaning that you know about your research. Okay, and besides that, you can also compete in 3-minute thesis competition. I think every year UTM has organized this competition called 3 minutes competitions. Okay, if you can see in front of you, this is me. Okay, this was taken 10 years ago. Okay, 10 years ago when I did my PhD. So my supervisor encouraged me to go to these competitions. So actually this competition helps me a lot. From the university's level, we go to the national level. Okay, I also didn't expect that I can, I actually win the competitions for national level, for social science category. This helps me a lot during my Viva sessions because I practiced it before the Viva itself. Okay, so I need to explain my thesis in just 3 minutes. So it's a challenging the most longest 3 minutes in my life. Okay? But the price is quite fair. Okay? You talk 3 minutes, and for the first prize, you get 3,000 ringgit. Okay, I still remember that vividly the moment. So it's a very interesting for you to expose to this kind of thing. Right? Okay, what else? You can go to exhibitions. We have at UTM, we have NALI competitions, New Academia Learning Innovation competitions. We have INATEX competitions. So get involved with that kind of competitions just to get yourself familiarized with the environment and how to not to sell yourself, but to present your work confidently to other person, okay, to strangers. Okay. Okay, so I think that's all from me. And don't forget to key in the attendance. Can you get the attendance link? Okay, in the chat box. Okay. Okay, Muhammad, I think I answer your questions about the limitation regarding the period of time to do corrections. It is based on the results that you get from the presentation. Okay. Okay, so do you have any other questions before we end the sessions? Okay, this is just a sharing sessions for you to be prepared for that very important moment in your life. You have gone through this, okay? Maybe you have, you've gone through this for a long time. Some of you 3 years, some of you 4 years, some of you even 7 years of completing your PhD. This is the day. So you should be happy with your research. I still remember my supervisor, my PhD supervisor, Prof. Zaidatun, tell me that, Farhana, you should be happy with your research. This is the time where you want the examiners to acknowledge your research. This is the contributions that you give to the field, to our field. In my case, my field is educational technology. So this is my little contributions to my field. Okay, so you should be happy. You should be, what you call it, be positive. Whatever happens, you must go through this. You can do it. Okay. Okay. Any other questions before we end the sessions? Okay. Some of you might feel excited. Some of you might feel nervous. So it's normal. It's normal to feel excited and nervous at the same time. Okay, just be prepared. Prepare questions and answers. Okay, the expected questions that that will be given to you by the panel of examiners. Just be prepared. Okay, so don't worry. Inshallah, everything will went well. Okay, so far, do you understand about this session? How to prepare before, during, and after your proposal defense or Viva examination? Thumbs up if you are good to go.
Hello, Prof. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Thank you for the insightful lecture. I have a question that I've heard that sometimes Viva may turn into a bit of debate. So what's the best way to handle a situation where two examiners start disagreeing with each other about my research? You have some suggestions for us to deal with such kind of situations?
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Chen, for the questions. Okay, I believe this is a normal situation. Okay, it's a good discussions. Okay, Viva is a healthy academic discussions. Please remember that, okay? They actually don't want to downgrade you. They want you to justify your selections. They want you to clarify your findings, for example. They want you to clarify the content of your research. So what you can do is for you to not add up some fire to that debate, okay? So what you need to do is, as I said earlier, please take a moment, okay, to understand the questions very well before you answer, okay? If you are not sure about the questions, you can ask for clarification, okay, from the examiner, okay? Ask them to maybe to repeat the questions again. Can you explain in detail what is your questions, okay? And then after that, you can answer it, politely answer the questions in scholarly way, okay? For a healthy academic discussion, okay, you need to be professional. Okay, that's the most important things. Don't get into a quarrel with your examiners. Please don't do that. Okay, if they have any other suggestions than your answer, please accept it. Okay, please accept it. And if you can clarify that you are not agree with their suggestions, you can also present it to them. Okay, provided you giving facts based on previous research findings and so on. You cannot just give answers based on your experience or based from other experience. That's not strong. That's not a strong argument. A strong and good research argument is where you can provide facts from previous research. Okay? So that's how you deal with it.
Yeah, thank you, Prof.
Okay, thank you, Chen. Okay. Any other questions? Sorry. Okay. If there is no other questions, I think that's all for today. Thank you for coming. Don't forget to fill up the attendance form, yeah? Okay. So I wish you all the best in your journey and hope you will, have a wonderful years at UTM as a UTM students and hope for your success in the future. Okay? All right. I think that's all. Thank you, everyone. I will share my slide and my recording later on in our WhatsApp group. Okay? All right. Thank you so much, everyone. Bye bye.